breaking in a REDS engine for the first time, and I gotta say I'm impressed with it after running OS speeds or other high quality, high dollar engines. This engine broke in the easiest out of all the engines I've ever had. So I use the normal method of breaking in. Basically, what's good about the REDS engine, it comes from the factory with break-in settings, so you don't have to touch the needles at all when you first start it up. So the first 4 tanks we just broke in on the box. We put as little stress on the engine as possible. We heated up the engine with hair dryers, and then we fired it up, and it cranked right up after priming it with no problem. So that was a relief. You'll notice that the high-end needle on the REDS engine is on the side versus most engines when this is the mid-range. The REDS engine doesn't have one. So basically, in a nutshell, the first 4 tanks were done successfully. It ran at a perfect idle right from the factory, and then we heat cycled it. From there, what we did was we ran another 4 tanks on it, and we ran those 4 tanks at a quarter throttle, so just slightly pulling the throttle open without touching the needles. On the 4th tank of that set, we did turn the needle in about an hour, because you can tell the piston and sleeve were starting to marry up a little bit. And so we ran that 4 tanks at a quarter throttle, and then we heat cycle each tank. And then the next 4 tanks we ran at a half throttle. And the 4th tank on that tank, we turned in the needles a little bit because, again, it was starting to come together, it was starting to marry up. We did have to bump the idle up on that because we wanted the idle a little low. So at that point, we were 2 hours in from factory, and then we went to the last tanks, and we gave it a very analog trigger pull. We didn't grab the trigger, but we still wanted to put as less stress on the engine at break-in as possible. So we did an analog trigger pull where we kind of and then let the engine kind of come alive by itself at its pace instead of our pace. So one thing I will say, just you gotta have a lot of patience if you want this engine to perform at top performance. So what we did was we ran through 4 more tanks at full throttle, and then after that we were ready to put a tune on it to take it to the track. So we ran another couple tanks on it and kind of turned in the needles as necessary, starting with the high-end needle, and then working ourselves to the low-end needle. But surprisingly, we didn't have to turn in the low-end needle that much. I mean, I'm talking maybe an hour. And just to test it out, we let the engine sit, let it build up, and then pull the trigger, and it took off at an expected rate. So at this point, where the engine is right now with 4, 8, 12, 16, 17, 18 tanks of fuel on it, 18 tanks at 120 cc's a tank, we're at the point where we can take it to the track now, and we wait for the engine to basically mature. And when it matures, I suspect that we will have to lean out the engine a little bit more. And right now, fuel consumption is right around 3/4 of a gallon for the break-in process. So if you get one of these engines, I would highly suggest that you put your patient cap on. But it's one of the highest qualities and easiest engines I've had to break in. So, with that being said, that's the method that we use for the engine break-in, and it's so far so good. It's pretty successful, and no complaints. It's got me thinking about going red.
they is super tight.
Yeah. Alright, right there. Did about an hour and a half, a little bit more than, you know, but that's fine for the next one. It's gonna catch that tune I put on in a minute. They caught it already.
Okay, basically this is the last phase of the whole break-in. It's actually got a race tune on it now. I've already done all 4 tanks of the full throttle. The last tank gradually mess with the high end, get the high end where you want it. Now, I mean, basically, she's ready for the track. Probably like another quarter gas and she'll be all the way mature. You have to readjust it again. You'll feel it getting fat when it breaks all the way in and it turns all the way mature. She's ready though. Yeah, she's ready for the track.